Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We are in a groove because we're taking trade after trade after we gave the long from this box. Yesterday I gave the short setup from the GP, and now we are looking for the third trade. Let's see if we can take it. I also took the short from yesterday, therefore I put the P&L in the thumbnail just in case some pencil necks are thinking they're not taking the trades I'm sharing. Yes, I'm also really taking the trades that I'm sharing, if else it has no use for me to sharing them. Like I said, now we are going to hunt for a third trade. So let's clean this up a little bit. We don't need this anymore. This trade is the one from yesterday from the GP and the daily level, and I'll also take this one out. And actually let's zoom in on yesterday's price action because that was actually quite nice. We're here on the 5 minute, and there you can see that we had a first tap into that golden pocket. Money flow was still pretty green, and I saw also a lot of longs opening. So I was a little bit hesitant, and then this next red candle, that was a very nice SFP, not a major wick, so that was fine for me, because of course you need to put your stop loss above the wick here. So once I saw that the SFP was confirmed, that is when I took the trade, and I just rode it to the downside. I had a few TP levels, or take profit if you don't know what it means, and that is the following. My first take profit on this trade was from the golden pocket. That also at the time lined up with the VWAP, as you can see, very nicely. So once we hit the VWAP in the golden pocket, I took off some of the trade. That was a 0.8% move. Then we went lower, and then we hit this daily level here at the bottom, and that is also where I took off a big chunk of the trade. And then I had my stop loss quite aggressively. I think it was above these highs right here. Some traders keep it then at one or two highs higher or at their entry, but I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive, and I had it here, and eventually I got stopped out. I did not long the bottom here, although now we are getting a move to the upside, because I saw this price action right here, and what I actually wanted or was waiting for is that we would have some sideways action, then a dump down, and then to go higher again. So a really clear SFP or sweep of the lows, and then eventually sideways and higher. That was really what I was waiting for. That didn't happen. We came close a few times, and eventually you can see that we grinded higher, and now we are at this level. I'm going to take the VWAP out because we don't need that anymore, and let's look at a couple trades for now. Where are we bouncing off from? We are very close, but just front running it, the golden pocket. From this high from yesterday to the low, and you can see that we're front running that just a tiny bit. Some people who work with order blocks or supply and demand say, you know what, this is a very clear area, and I'm just drawing that, and then you could say, okay, yes, we hit the supply and demand / order block, and now we're getting a little bit of a rejection. However, we do not see a very clear or a clean bearish divergence at this level, because as you can see, the money flow here on the 5 minute is still pretty thick. If I zoom in on the 3 minute, this actually still looks pretty good to me. As you can see, the VWAP looks like it also still wants to roll over higher, so give it a little bit more time into the GP would be very nice. I don't know for sure if we're going to get that, because it would almost be the exact same trade as yesterday. Never say never, but it's almost too easy. On the 15 minutes, same kind of story. Yes, we are now creating a red dot, but also here there's just no bearish divergences, so usually that is a signal for the top. So yes, we could of course go lower from here. Then I missed a short, that's fine. I will try to short it if I see a little bit more confirmations into, for example, the golden pocket or the 78.6. Both for me is completely fine. And then again, if we're then looking on a higher time frame, we are having a high, and then we created a lower high, and then we are again creating a lower high. In the meantime, we are just building up more and more liquidity here on the bottom. It is absolutely insane, because these lows that we talked about yesterday are still intact. We didn't take them out, and now we're just doing exactly the same. We're just going higher. So it is such a major incentive to eventually drop the price much lower to approximately 26k ish, to take out all of that liquidity and take out the longs. In a moment we are going to look at the open interest because that will confirm my idea. Okay, what are other trades you could take except from the golden pocket where we just talked about? Maybe an SFP from this high from yesterday, that will be around 28,120 ish. I'm not so keen on this because if you do so, then you also have the 78.6 and actually this high above. I think that the chances that this will go higher, create an SFP and will then go lower, I think is very slim. Just the same as that I said, an SFP from this high, I think it's also not the most likely scenario to play out. I do still have it in the screen, as you can see. This is the SFP from this top right here, but the real gem actually still would be here, the golden pocket and the value area high at 29,000 to 29,200 ish. So that is for now the most interesting. Longs, is there still an opportunity to long? Yes, there is, but you need to be a little bit careful. Like I said, because we're engineering so much liquidity underneath all of these stops, a big wick to the downside can be done very fast. But one could be still the one from yesterday, that would drop down and then leave a lot of liquidity intact and just only take out the lows here and then go higher. I will only take this trade if we did not first hit the tops. So if we would go down now and we would just completely drop, take the liquidity like I just talked about, quick reclaim of the level and then maybe a little bit sideways and higher, I will play that long. However, if we first go higher and we are then tapping all the liquidity and loading up the bandwagon with shorts, I will not be looking to long this level at all, because then I think the pain train has left and then we're just going towards low 26k and to take out the liquidity that we have been building up for I don't know how many days. Okay, so that is it for the shorts and longs. Also again today, very clean, simple price action. If we are going to look at open interest, because this actually is very interesting, that is the bottom field here in my screen. Open interest shows you how many contracts are open, and it could be longs, could be shorts. But right now we are in a relatively high level for where we are for price and where we are in the cycle of the market. And I'm saying that on purpose because if we're in full-on bull market, then we're not at 500 million, we are at a couple billions. But from the last couple months, every time we were around 500 million, you do see eventually a correction and a move to lower levels, approximately 450 to 400 million. That would be relatively healthy. If we are going higher, then you can also see that eventually that is being corrected. Here you see a big correction actually in the screen. We were just underneath the 500 million, and eventually you see price here goes up and price here goes down, then you see the correction in open interest. What I'm trying to say is that I do think we are going to get a big correction in open interest. Are we therefore going higher or lower? I don't know, because like I said, open interest could be longs and could be shorts. If the price goes much higher and you see open interest going lower, and at the same time CVD, I didn't put it on the screen now because it's not important, goes goes higher, then you have a short squeeze and the other way around. If let's say the price will stay stable, I mean, you can almost not imagine that it would happen, but let's say we're just staying stable and then you see a major drop here in open interest, that would mean that the same amount of longs and shorts are closing out at the same time, and of course you will also see that then in the CVD that also needs to stay relatively the same. That could be a scenario, but I actually think that eventually maybe we first need to get or a pump or a big dump, and then you see a big correction in open interest, and then we get the actual move which will liquidate even more open interest until that level of, like I said, approximately 450 to 400 million. So that's just something to keep a note, that from the last couple weeks or maybe even months, we have been really building up that open interest all the way from the low 400 million or even 380 million all the way to 500 million. I think we are at the point that this is going to be corrected, and therefore I expect a pretty volatile move. You know, if you follow me, which side I am betting on. Okay guys, that will be it. Relatively simple and clean and short video, I think. You know my longs, you know my shorts. I'm taking it trade by trade, level by level. I had a nice trade yesterday. Let's see if we can catch another trade today. If not, also fine, then I will just step away for the charts during the weekend. I will not be trading. And then of course I see all of you guys again on Monday. Thank you guys so much. And of course also don't forget to like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. And also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Both of those links you'll find in the description. See you guys very soon again in the next one. Bye bye.